Hello there. It's been a while.
Just a
Which
bit.
it might be a bit of an understatement, but it's been a while. And I just gotta say, a lot has happened, and I mean a lot,
A lot.
a whole lot. Some of it's okay, but most of it's not.
Hang on,
Some
what?
of it.
There's an okay part?
Well, we'll
We're
get to
together and
that.
we're streaming. That's okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes. There we go. There we go. But besides that, there is one okay thing. But we'll get to that later in the stream. Anyways, right now, we are going to start off just, talking about the mess that we've got going on right in front of us here. And if you couldn't tell by the image, I'd, I'll have to spell it out for you. We're talking about the Acolyte. And, that's a hot topic right now. I mean, you might as well start off with it. But before we get into that, I do want to say we will have two separate streams for the Bad Batch. We will give our full review of the entire series along with the third season. We'll talk about the third season first, then our opinions on the entire series afterward. And then we will talk about Ahsoka. Those two series we've neglected to actually
I
review on the
forgot
channel.
about Ahsoka.
Sorry, hang on.
I-
Not only neglected to review, but neglected to view.
Not for me, but maybe for you.
Yeah.
I've watched all of them, but I will admit that neglected to view part is very true for the Acolyte. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, somebody that wants to review Star Wars stuff or talk about Star Wars stuff as somebody that wants to do that, I've not done that. I refuse to watch it, and this stream is going to tell you exactly why. Now, for those of you out there that might think, "Hey, you've not watched it," you have no
So,
room to
so
talk about it. That's
hang on,
untrue,
hang on.
huh?
So I didn't need to binge it.
Did you binge the Acolyte, sir?
What?
Did you
Well,
actually
sort
watch
of.
it?
Yeah,
I mean, you're like, what's
For-
his name right here on our screen, just taking the poison. Just okay.
yeah, there we go. Great
What?
metaphor.
What is his name? I don't know the names of any of these people.
Torben.
I don't.
Torben.
Okay.
Master Torben.
Oh, this world has changed like these last 6 months must have put some sort of change on this channel because for once I've not watched a show and Sir AOA has.
That is bizarre.
I know it's usually like the last couple shows he's neglected to watch, but I've watched them, the ones that we reviewed, not counting the two that we haven't yet. And
No,
here we are.
everyone that we've reviewed, I've watched.
Oh yeah, but did you watch it on the day it came out and then review it with us after viewing it?
Some of the times,
Sometimes.
I missed a few episodes. I mean, jeez, we're not all
Yeah.
perfect.
I mean, I guess I guess I guess it's hard to live up to my standards. I know. It's okay though. You're part of this channel still. I haven't kicked you out yet.
Yeah, well, after this long, you probably start listening to life.
Probably. And I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. I'm perfectly happy with that actually. Anyways, we're going to finally get into talking about this. I don't really want to talk too much about the episodes in depth. That's the thing. I mean, yeah, I'll admit I've not watched it. I've watched a lot of reviews. Some of them have actually broke down most scenes through the entire first, second, and third episode, so I have a general
Same.
idea. I refuse to actually watch it. Well, no, actually, I was watching this guy on YouTube who was watching air quotations watching the Acolyte, but they had a filter over the screen, so it couldn't get copyrighted. So I was getting to actually watch the first episode fully without any with that filter. So it did make it hard for me to really get into it, but I was still watching the episode. So technically I've watched the first episode without actually watching it on Disney Plus. But I haven't watched the second one or the third one, and especially with the third one, I refuse to touch, even with a 39.5-foot pole. I won't touch it.
Well,
You
well,
can
well,
bet your huh? Go ahead.
well, should I go through? Should I go first then? Seeing how I have actually watched this.
I will let you, yes. But first, I
Okay.
was going somewhere with something.
Yep. Sorry.
No, you're okay. My train of thought is I don't know. It's been a Monday for sure. Well, a Tuesday for you, sir. Anyway, a Monday
Yeah.
for me. It's been a Monday. Where was I going? Okay. Anyways, so where I haven't, or as I was saying earlier, if I haven't watched it, some would say I have no room to talk about it. Well, Commander Tano made a really good point before stream, and I will let her give that point because it makes a whole lot of sense. And I never thought of things like this before, but Commander Tano usually has this really weird way of opening my mind to new things. It's really weird.
Oh dear.
I guess that I guess that's the reason why she's the Mary Sue of this channel, and I'm very proud to announce that. So go ahead, Commander Tano, you can take it away from here.
Well, I mean, all I was saying is, and it's obvious, like a lot of people who are reacting to this show and its existence haven't watched it for various reasons. But, and just in anticipating the criticism that, oh, you can't talk about something unless you've watched it or read it, consumed it, whatever. If you think of it this way, these entertainment companies, they put out all this marketing material between, trailers, and they send the actors and cast crew out to go and say insane, stupid things out in public about the show. And so it's like
Anakin blowing up the Death Star.
Blowing up the Death Star.
Yes. And so it's like, if, and the thing is that these companies want you, the potential consumer, to consume their product based on that marketing material, based on all those little snippets. So if they're asking, if it's okay for them to ask you to judge a book by its cover, essentially, based on what they kind of put out, why can't then it's also should be okay for people to judge a book by its cover, in the sense of if they find summary, spoilers, leaks, reviews, whatever, or official clips and stuff from the studio itself, and they make judgments on that, and they're like, no, I'm not watching that. That's all fair, so I think people don't need to, have watched an entire show in order to give their thoughts on it, because that's the thing. It's like, that's the job of the studio, to get their marketing act together. If people are, looking at what they put out, what they use to pitch this show and convince people to watch it, if people are looking at that and saying like, what? No. That's not the problem of the consumer. That's the problem of the studio. They need to get their act together. So I think anyone can make judgments about anything without having read or watched it. It's fair game.
That's exactly the point of advertising in general, is to make you feel like you want to watch it. But if their advertising material isn't doing it for you, that's not your fault. That's their fault. And they put that out there for us to judge whether we want to watch it or not.
It's not your job to market a company's products to yourself. That
exactly.
They're the ones who need to do that. And they Yeah,
I'm
they've
sure.
made some
I'm sure
interesting
somebody.
decisions with that.
I'm sure somebody that actually markets somebody's products themselves has a massive spending problem. I can't talk much myself, but I mean I don't do that. What am I talking about? I don't market other people's products to myself. Do I have a spending problem? Maybe, but I don't market other people's products to myself and make my spending problem worse. Okay, I'll admit it. Okay, I do have a slight spending problem, but it's okay. I'm not homeless. And that's the bare minimum for me.
That is good. We like having homes.
Yes, very, very much. All right. With that point out of the way, Sir AOA, you know more about this show, most likely, than any of us at the moment. And
Mhm.
what a
And he
I'm
lives
still
to tell the
what
tale.
he does live to tell the tale. What a very odd turn of events here today. This is historical. Anyways, so I want you to just go ahead and tell us about it.
Okay. Well, what I think about it, I guess. Well, one of the first things I should say is that the Alkalite has absolutely exceeded my expectations. I was absolutely surprised. It has absolutely exceeded my expectations. Bet you didn't think I was going to say that.
No, I was actually a little bit speechless from that one. I'm like, huh? Okay.
Yeah. No, I thought the Alkalite was going to be an absolute dumpster fire, and it just shot past that expectation so much. I was surprised. I was really, really surprised because what the Alkalite is Chernobyl, absolute nuclear wasteland. Just absolute. Oh, the Russian nuclear. Oh, sorry, the Soviet Russian. The Soviet nuclear energy company or whatever could not have produced a greater disaster than the Alkalite.
I love how you put that. I love how you started that off too. Like I was speechless at first, I wasn't expecting that. And you know what? You almost had me wanting to try it out just because if it made you positive, then it sure would have made me positive because I'm usually the one that's more lenient on these types of things. I was beginning to doubt myself very much just then. Very much.
Just no, it almost paralyzes the mind trying to organize and put out everything that is wrong with this show. If you had have told me this was not Star Wars, I would have gone, yeah, no, cool. I absolutely understand this from top to bottom. And even then, I would still say it was a bad show.
I mean, sometimes from my experience, I've tried to look at some of these shows through a lens of what if it wasn't a Star Wars show? And in that, if you view it like that, they're not as bad. Some of them ain't, but this one's just as bad
Oh,
both ways.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the best way I think I can sort of put it is that everything about the show is trying to tell you to feel a certain way about it without explaining why. So,
I
oh, this is a bit of a police procedural. Okay, so when we're the Jedi police, uh, who are these people? Why do we care about them? you're
Well,
just given absolutely nothing, and you're expected to feel a certain way.
I mean,
Uh,
that's
go.
that's the current like writing for most shows nowadays. Just tell, don't show, or no, sorry, show, don't tell, and expect us to, or
No,
they're
tell,
trying to
don't
hold our
show.
hand. Tell, okay, yeah,
No,
sorry,
it,
yeah,
it's definitely tell, don't show.
yes,
This show is
yes,
very telling.
yes. So I had it right at first, and then my brain just backtracked and like, nope, it's the other way around.
Yeah, don't
I
question
usually
yourself.
I do that all the time. So, right now, I'm questioning myself on whether I should have watched those reviews because it has scarred me. Do you guys want to do the chant with me? We can start singing the power of one, the
Oh
power of
Oh
my,
two,
God,
the
no,
power of
no,
many.
no,
Don't
no,
no.
no,
Do you want to do it? You
no.
want to? It's stuck in my head, and I need to get it out.
no.
No.
Like, I
But yeah,
can't
no.
believe. I just can't. I
Yeah, go.
I mean, like, I don't. It's such a common, like, at this point, critique to be like, oh, that movie or that show, it must have been written by AI. But I've got to say,
No, AI would write something a lot more intelligent than the Alkalite. I
it's like
mean,
it. Yeah, it's like
you
if
have in
someone
the
put in
first.
an AI, make it Star Wars, but I'm trying to think of an adjective for it. But yeah, it's like
Star Wars and
Yet again,
Frozen and
an
Kill Bill all
AI would
together.
come up with something better.
yeah,
An AI would come up with something better.
yeah,
And sorry, the AI has come up with something better. I mean, someone
yeah.
put through AI, what would you do with a trilogy type of situation? And what the AI wrote was far better than what we got. So no, an AI would definitely come up with better than
Yeah.
what we have on the Alkalite.
It's
I
like
mean,
they're
you have
yeah.
Master Soul going in the first episode. What was it? No, the twin couldn't be alive. And then, like 10 minutes after,
He's like, I
May's going.
believe
No, it's May. No, Osha's going. May is alive, and Master Soul's going. I believe you.
Dear Lord.
It is such a shame that the actor that is Master Soul learned English to be in this show.
Oh,
And no hate to
wasted.
him because he's such a good actor. I liked him in Squid Games. He was amazing. But then he's here in this travesty.
Master Soul is the Finn of the Alkalite.
Yes.
Oh no, that is such a good comparison. I see it.
Everyone loves him except the director or the writer.
Oh my, that is so. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I just.
I feel like he could.
You can
Go ahead.
go. No, you go.
I feel like if they had thrown him into a different Star Wars project as a Jedi somewhere else without this terrible writing and terrible story, he'd be so much more of a character. People like this character. They say he's the best thing about the Acolyte.
Yeah. If if it was the Master Soul show, all on board. But the thing is that they have set up nothing in the area of world building and then just expected us to accept everything that was going on. For instance, it's the High Republic. Great. What makes it the High Republic?
No.
It just
Yeah.
looks like it could have been
Republic.
the High Republic.
Oh,
if
man.
you had have slotted in pretty much all of what we've seen in The Mandalorian, would not look out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So when screw it, let's just skip all over the episodes. So when you have the Jedi rocking up to essentially act as child protection services, you're going, why? How? What? Or you have the mother, whatever her name is, Mummy,
She
sort of
hereafter shall
going,
be Mummy.
yeah, Mummy. Okay, we'll leave it at Mummy. Who thinks Star Wars is just so patriarchal? Yes, Quick.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
Oh no, I
yes,
can't. No, stop it. No.
yes,
I
patriarchy.
feel like I have to
You know,
take my
she's
earbuds out. Ugh.
quick, wash your ears out.
Oh gosh.
But you sort of have her going, oh, we've been persecuted and we've been hunted
Oh
and we've
my.
been all this other type of situation, and you're going, cool. Why?
Apparently, for what they are.
And
What are they though?
lesbians. That's why.
Here's the other thing. I'm just gonna mention, since we're talking about witches, why can't I made some comment on Twitter like the other day about how the witches in this thing, they just see milk toast. Like, why can't they just let witches be witches? Like, and actually like possess people and kill people. You know what I mean? Like, do evil witchy things. I'm sick of
and
this
that is
kind
something
of.
that is something that's needed. That is something that's needed. See, and this is why I'm now saying fire Dave Filoni.
Sometimes a witch is just a witch. Just let the let witches be witches.
No. But I mean, the thing is that they deliberately did not make them Dathomir witches, which was a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Absolutely big mistake. Not because I have anything against the Dathomir witches or anything like that, but if they were Dathomir witches, we can sit there and go, yes, I can understand why the Jedi came and hunted them.
Mm-hmm.
I've got no idea why the Jedi wanted to hunt them.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, they're dead. They're all dead.
No, so
I
want
guess
to
we're
mention
never
a few
going to
things.
find out.
I want to mention a few things now that you mentioned that, but before I mention the dead witches, let me just say it's the only thoughts that came to my head as to why they were being hunted was either because they're witches. Did I say two thoughts? I meant three. I have three thoughts. Because they're witches that use the Force in some obscene way, the Jedi think that their power is dark. That's number two. They say that, but I don't know what they necessarily mean by that.
But there's nothing
Or
to
three, they're
there's nothing
lesbians,
in
and that's it. Those were my three thoughts.
but there's nothing that is shown that allows us to see that.
It does.
And if it's because their powers are a little bit mysterious and they're not the Jedi's way, then Headland has no idea about the Force or about the Sith or about anything.
What
Exactly.
I like, yeah, and it reminds me like what's so funny about this all is that obviously they think that they're telling some new story, or that they're interrogating the lore, of Star Wars, or whatever they say they're doing. But the thing is, that's already happened, and it was done much better kind of with prequel era content. What the difference being is like what with this show, what it's doing, it's like have the Jedi hunt down essentially like innocent people and get in their business for no reason. Whereas what I like kind of like with the story you have set in the prequel era, it's like you have the separatists do some bad things, and so it gives and it gives people,
it's
the
not much.
Jedi, the Republic, some justification to do what they do. It isn't purely
It's
like
not so much. It's not so much they did bad things. It's just that they did disorder. They created disorder.
there's just more. There just seems to be, what everyone wants to call it, there seems to be just more justification for the choices that people make in that kind of in stories from kind of that era versus what they're trying to do here. Is it's like too on the nose, and or just things like addressing the whole kind of the whole issue with children leaving their families to go join the Jedi Order. It's like that's already been looked at. That's not new. They're not doing anything new with this show. Like obviously the whole story of Anakin, it's all about that.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything
Yeah.
new with this show. They're just doing it worse.
But I mean, the thing is that, and this is actually something that came to me after watching seeing an image on X. The question was sort of, what code would you choose? And they had the Jedi code and the Sith code, and then like the Grey Jedi code, and everyone on X pretty much ringed this guy out for putting the Grey Jedi code. and for future streams, I'm gonna have to get you to change this, but you're gonna have to change the red to purple.
Why is that?
Because the thing is that what I do, nothing to do with the dark side. But
True.
I will read out the Sith code. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. Now, when people read that, they make the mistake of going, "Oh, it's all about freedom, and freedom's great," but they don't think their way through every line in that code. Because, and this is why the dark side, and especially the Sith, is not good. There is no sort of good version of the Sith. The reason is because with that freedom comes the freedom to kill.
Mm-hmm.
That is why they have I've forgotten what it was called. The rule of two, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's why they have the rule of two. Because at one point, the apprentice is meant to gain enough power to kill their master.
Yep.
And that is one of the main reasons why the Jedi refuse emotion a bit too much, but that's another thing. Is because when your emotions are at their highest, you are more wanting to take shortcuts. You are more wanting to gain power quickly. And the more
Mhm.
you're doing that, the more you're not caring how you do that and how many people you will hurt.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's right.
Now, the thing is, and this is what is really fascinating about, especially like characters like Mace Windu, is that you have him tapping into his emotions, or tapping into the dark side to fuel the Force, but while keeping it controlled and in order.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that is very much sort of the Jedi code. And the thing is that they the Alkalite does not understand this at all.
No.
You could
So
have just
if
stopped at the acolyte does not understand and just.
I know,
Really.
but the thing is that I kind of wanted this out first before I got to that. If sorry, just reorganizing my thoughts. Not knowing if the witches are dark side users or light side users doesn't help in the story.
It doesn't. No.
And I've kind of just lost my train of thought there. Uh,
You're getting as bad as me,
sorry,
sure.
my emotions have kind of got to its
It's
height, and I've yeah.
it's okay. We understand. You watched the Acolyte. Now your brain's a jumbled mess. It's okay. We
Oh, let,
understand.
let me put it this way. I've only been able to watch one episode per sitting. And I think I only got 10 minutes into episode 3. Just because the thing is that I was just sitting here and going, why? Why is this happening? Why? Oh, for the love of God, why? Actually, getting on to one point that comes up, I don't so much mind the Force foo,
Yeah, I don't have an issue
but
with that.
I can understand why it's so prevalent, and the reason's bullcrap. The reason is just crap.
Yep.
I am sorry. May should have been killed in the first fight against Indara. Oh,
I agree.
and that just reminds me. That just reminds me. The Acolyte doesn't understand how Jedi fight.
Oh, there's a lot of things it doesn't understand about what kills people either. And I'm not talking about.
Oh,
I'm not talking
Oh,
about
the
just the
butter knife,
Acolyte.
the butter knife to the chest.
And then
Uh,
I know we haven't reviewed Ahsoka, but Sabine.
oh,
yeah.
Sabine.
ignoring the
Also,
part that being skewered by a lightsaber would turn you into a bloody firework if the lightsabers were emitting what they were emitting. If it's hot enough to melt bloody blast doors, being stabbed with one would liquefy your insides really quickly.
Exactly. That's why lightsabers are supposed to be so deadly. But then here we got Disney Star Wars making them like little glow sticks,
Glow bats.
Oh,
glow bats.
Glow bats
Yeah,
that can stab people. But
yeah.
hold on.
when it came
Wait.
to Sabine, yeah.
Well, okay, I'm gonna bring it up now because so I was just reading because obviously I haven't watched the episodes and I was just thinking about death, obviously because we're talking about, and I was just thinking about what's his name taking the poison. I'm just reading like why he. So wait, she gives it to him as like, hey, if you want, like she offers. This is her way of offering
If
him
you want
forgiveness.
absolution, take this. Essentially, yes.
So you didn't know that?
There is
What
this
kind
big
of
long
forgiveness is that where you poison someone? Like, here, I'll forgive you if you drink this poison. Like, what the?
It-
Oh my word.
It wasn't just that. It was you can either tell the Jedi Council what you did, or you can drink this poison. And then he stops meditating and just sort of goes, "I'm sorry. We thought we were doing something good. Drink." There's a few more lines, but it's just sort of and the thing is that if what happened in episode 3 is what's needing to be forgiven,
Yeah,
good
what?
God, talk about white guilt. I mean, Jesus.
See.
I'm sorry you lit a fire and you killed all your family.
I have so many things to
Okay.
say when it comes around to like, oh my, okay, oh my, oh.
I mean,
I'm
the thing
excited
is
to hear
that you could have said that. I
This
don't
show's
know
even
what's
crazier
happening.
than I thought it was. From this is the like, oh my.
Whatever you thought the Alkalite
it makes
was,
even less sense.
triple it, and even then, that's probably an understatement.
It makes even less sense. That
Oh yeah,
it's
no.
good. It's good that I haven't actually seen it. Like
There is a reason why I've only watched one episode per city. Because there is only so much stupid you can take in one city.
Oh, I have so many things to say now. Oh my! Wow. This actually. This makes
I do not understand how anyone can be sitting there and going, "Oh, this is great! I'm going to rate it 5 stars."
Oh my! Like I can't
because it is the epitome of the and then writing.
It's. I hesitate. Part of me is tempted to go find that scene and watch it, but I'm like, nah.
Which one?
When he's like, oh, sorry, thought all that whole thing. I haven't seen it, but
the thing is, though, if you do watch it, it's literally the equivalent of doing it yourself. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't.
One of the perfect examples is that May's given the the poison to Torben, and the next day or something, little time has passed. Oh no, sorry. Sol, May, and the other two, Yord. That's it. And I don't know what the not the Alkalite, the Padawan's name is, because who cares? They rock up to the temple. They go, "Oh, we need to see Master Torben." So the Jedi of the temple start showing them, and then for some reason, Osha stops, turns down another hallway. Yord kind of goes, "What the hell is she doing?" Follows. Somehow Osha gets to Torben before the Jedi that live at the
What?
goddamn temple gets to Torben.
Okay.
Is this the new equivalent to BB-8 making it to the Starfighter before Poe does, and they were just right there at that like turn towards the hangar, and Poe is still running by the time the next scene hits. So you know what I'm talking about, right? That scene in The Last Jedi. I think it was
You're.
was it The Last Jedi?
I can't. Do I look
Something
like
like
I
that.
care?
Look, it's the scene
But
where
I
the
mean,
hangar gets destroyed. Yes, that's The Last Jedi. So BB-8
but
rounds
I
the
mean,
corner in one scene, and
You
then
look
Poe is
like you
still
care.
running in the next scene.
no.
And it takes him even
This
longer
is
to
not
get
like
there.
that. This is not like that because
No, it's not like
they've
that.
taken two different pathways, two completely different pathways, and yet somehow the Jedi
Somehow.
who
Somehow.
lives at the temple gets to Torben just so they can catch Osha over the body, closing the eyes, sniffing the vial of poison. So she has the vial of poison in her hand. Sorry, the empty vial in her hand with a dead Master Jedi, and it's like, oh, I didn't poison her. Sorry, I didn't poison him. And then Yord comes in and goes, yeah, she hasn't done it. I watched her the entire time, and it's just like, why bother?
Why would they set that up?
Oh,
Like
because they
set
need
up a
tension. They
let's
need
set up a
tension.
framing thing. We need to frame this character to make them look like they did something wrong, but immediately clear them in the same scene. Great idea. That's how you do it.
I just, I the
Okay.
more I think about it, the more it's just sort of like, good God, how could
That
no
Last
wonder
Jedi watch party
Disney's
is sounding really good right now.
no one yeah no wonder Disney share prices are falling.
They were under $100 from the last time I heard, and that's crazy.
It's yeah. Hang on, what is it now? Now I'm interested. But yes,
Well,
so you know what I'm saying needs to be changed to purple now, right?
yes.
Yeah,
I completely yes. Now, I
because
want to say a couple things. So, there's many things I want to mention myself that I noticed from watching various clips and commenters and stuff like that talk about this stuff, or commentators, sorry. The first thing I want to mention is the deaths of the witches. I know I'm going back to that right now. I know it's sort of like a mystery, if you want to call it that, of how they died, because they don't look like they were burnt. They don't look like they were slashed with lightsabers.
They were somehow.
So they were somehow. But the biggest thing is everybody thinks that it's the fire that did it. And you guys, we were talking about earlier that, what's her name? Maya? May? That's it.
Maybe.
That's it.
hang on.
Maybe.
Are you asking about the bad twin or the good twin?
I'm asking about the one that burned the journal. That was May, correct?
Yeah.
That was May. Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's start this off real quick. Let's start this off with the beginning of that fire. So Osha's wanting to be a Jedi. She's going to leave with the Jedi. Okay. Then her sister, who apparently seems to love her sister a lot. The evil twin. She apparently loves her sister so much
Oh my
that
gosh.
she's going to stop her from leaving
By killing her.
by killing her.
Also, that's how their dark side uses. If they leave, they kill them out of love.
exactly. Exactly.
They get over
So
passionate.
so she's basically telling her sister, I am going, and the other one's like, no, you're not. And then Osha's like, you can't stop me. And she's like, yeah, I can, if I kill you. and then basically locks her up in a room. I assume that's what I heard. I didn't watch the episode, mind you.
I did see that clip. That was a treasure.
I know, and I do like that clip. I might actually screen record that clip and just use it, because we already got one of these scenes, and I think I want to clip it too. We got one of those scenes with Yord, I think. We need another one,
Yeah,
We need another one of these,
yeah.
You do know that there's a Yord crew now or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
We've got to appease them.
Hashtag.
Although
Just give me a
I feel
second.
wrong doing it because it's like I don't know. To me, like my loyalty is to the Raylos.
Yep.
Like
to
yeah.
the ones that really enjoy this. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So she locks her up in a room and goes and burns her journal. Now, I want to remind everyone that they are in a stone structure on a mountain.
Yes.
You don't say.
With a forest below the mountain, not on the mountain, if I remember correctly from the screenshots. A stone structure.
Stone structure.
Okay. I just want to make sure everybody understood the what the structure was, okay? The whole place burns down in flames. The whole
Stone structure
burns to the
Are you
ground.
trying to tell us something?
No.
And can you stop that? My headphones are really it's really close to being hurtful.
Okay, so the stone structure, it burns. The whole fire consumes the place, apparently killing everyone. Okay? Which, since apparently fire can also burn in space, it must be able to burn stone too. Right? Right. We're just going to say that. that was completely unintentional. Anyway, so if that is the case, then what is the whole revenge plot for? Does she blame the Jedi for
That's what I don't
their deaths?
get. And I guess
that's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
I know that's what you said, but I wanted to expand a little bit.
It needs to be repeated. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that the stupidity of this story was profoundly known. Okay? There's no right way to make that sound good because you can't.
No.
So we have that, and that brings us back to this scene. So he's sad about that and wants to be forgiven for that, even though it was her fault. She goes through
so many,
kills Trinity. Whatever her name is in the show, I'm not sure, but Trinity from Matrix. She's dead by a little butter knife. And then
Master Indira.
He kills himself. Yes, her. He kills himself. This guy on screen, and all in the name of wanting to be forgiven for what he had done. I'm just trying to figure out who thought this was a good idea.
Like
Harvey Weinstein, maybe. Anyways.
Yeah, like where to begin? Just and the other thing, like apart from just kind of the revenge plot does not make sense, and it's like is there for what is there for, what's her name to get revenge for, and what's there for what's his name to feel so sorry for that he needs to kill himself. Like, besides all of that, besides,
because the Jedi are patriarchal, domineering dominators, oppressors. That's it.
Yes, and they must all kill themselves. Got it. That's the other thing. Like, in addition to just all of the logic problems with this, like, let's pretend you took the acolyte and you removed. You kind of got rid of all the many culture war issues that it has. Let's say you got rid of like all the just lore contradiction problems it has. Let's say you tidied up the story so that there was some more clear logic behind choices of different characters. Now, at that point, you would just say, well, it's not the Acolyte anymore if it didn't have all those things.
Exactly.
But let's just pretend that, you cleaned all that up. Even then, my issue with it, and I think this is also a reason why it like, this is not something that is possible of having like any kind of mass appeal like other Star Wars stuff. It's such a it's such a cynical story. I'd almost
That would
say
be an
like
improvement.
it's like, and I'm probably not coming up with the right adjectives to describe it, but it's just like, I hesitate to use this word, but it's like just like the people who are writing it. It's like just kind of like a angry blind rage sort of story. Like, it's like,
No, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and it's so straight. It's so funny.
No,
like,
don't put that on screen.
Why not? Why not?
That was not the reason I typed that up.
Yeah, and I wanted it on screen.
Oh Jesus! Yes,
I'm going to get a
we have the Reylos. Now we've got the Yord Horde, and
I will always be Team Reylo. The Reylos were our first like target audience, so
yeah, but the Yord is a special person. He thinks Anakin blew up the Death Star, so.
Oh, he's a very special person. He just gets emasculated in every goddamn scene he's in on the show.
But like this, like, just kind of the whole tone of this show. And I know we're talking just about the Acolyte, but it kind of made me think, and I posted this the other day. I'm like, in light of everything that I've seen and heard, coming out of the Acolyte, and on top of that, what you all just told me about this whole kind of weird forgiveness scene, kind of, that this what's his name gets at the poison, and just like all of that. I posted the other day. I'm like, I am really kind of surprised that they allowed the Bad Batch to see the light of day, because at least, and once again, I know we're going to talk about this a different day, but it was weird to me to have, one, to come just out of a show where it ended, to me, I was, would I have liked it to be to addressed a few more subplots that I think were cut short because someone upstairs said, no, you only have 3 seasons, not 4 or 5. Yes, I would have liked to see the full thing. But what,
there's no
got.
E.
Okay, listen. Listen.
It's like ye old
Listen.
kind of England, that ye old
Listen.
lord.
I will fix that. I'm glad that you said that. I'm even looking at it.
No,
and
you
I
gotta
still
keep
messed up.
that.
Oh, keep it?
Yes. You gotta keep it with the E.
Yordi Horde. Actually, no, keep it. Keep it. It mocks it better.
It's
The
beautiful.
Yordi Horde. Oh.
But anyways,
Oh,
I'm really,
my
in
headset.
short, I'm really kind of like baffled. Like, came out from one show that was basically the whole tone of it. It was like, to me at least, a very endearing forgiveness story about like actual forgiveness. And then you get this one where it's like, I'll forgive you if you take this poison and kill yourself. Like, what the? And just so much.
Seriously, writers in Hollywood should only write if they've been given a clean bill of health from a psychiatrist.
Yes.
We need to get rid of this bloody daddy issues. Sorry, we need to get writers that don't have any goddamn daddy issues.
Good luck with that. Good
I'll
luck
do
with
it.
that. Oh my. But yeah, I just find the tone of The Acolyte, it's like, even if you got rid of all these other problems that people have been talking about 10,000 times over, and rightly they should, it's just, at the end of the day, it's like, it's like, it's beyond cynical. It's just, it's almost too stupid to be cynical.
Absolutely.
It's almost too stupid to be cynical, but that's
I
the
know.
best word I've got. It is kind of just angry. It's like aimless and angry. And I don't, you know what? Here's the thing. It's like, for a lot of people, franchises like Star Wars are kind of, they're more like kind of comfort shows, kind of entertainment. I'm not, and it's like, well, why would I want to waste my life watching that? Like, it's just like, why?
I wouldn't.
The question
Beyond
that
to
I
make
was
fun of
asking
it.
myself, the question I was asking myself while watching this bloody crap.
Like,
I feel bad for you.
I deliberately went into the first episode with a tankard of alcohol, and even that wasn't enough. I mean, you remember how much I drank while watching bloody Netflix Cowboy Bebop?
I do remember that. I was there.
Yeah, and I would have needed double the amount. Hang on, let me put it this way.
I think I understand
I would prefer to watch Kenobi over this.
No, that's not a great
How
comparison.
far we have
The Last
sunk.
Jedi.
You know what?
Oh. Okay, there we go.
You know what? It just occurred to me. Could it be that just the whole Torben scene? Could it just be that, like, I don't know, like, maybe his actor just like actually took poison and they filmed it? Like, just.
We need a wellness check on the actor.
Yeah, we need to double check this guy, see if he's still alive. He is alive.
And
guy,
frankly,
so
I'm
it's
actually starting to
untelling.
understand Torben now. Like, I understand why he did that. You know what? So never mind. The Acolyte, that element of the act, that makes sense. I don't blame him.
Look, through this stream so far, I've actually grown to understand this version of Luke Skywalker now. See,
Yeah, he watched the
he was ahead
Acolyte.
of the curve. He was ahead of the curve. He knew things. That's why he stopped. That's why he stopped being the Jedi. He was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be part of the thread now. It's the thread, not the Force. I'm not going to be part of the thread. I'm going to cut myself off from it because I don't want to be making Force babies like these lesbians did.
He was all alone on the island, and he's just sort of gone, you know what? No, I am not going to be impregnated with the thread.
Well, see, this is the crazy thing though. Like, I actually sort of feel that way about it now. Like, I almost want to go back and watch The Last Jedi just so I can feel something. And that's weird.
That is so sad.
It is. I hate The Last Jedi. I absolutely hate it. But now that I'm looking at it through that lens, it will it'll make me feel something. At least I felt like annoyed and angry when I watched that movie. Or just blatantly just wanting to stop. But this, I can't even bring myself to hate watch it. Not that I hate watch things. I don't usually hate watch things. I mean, if I don't want to watch something, or if I think it's going to be stupid, like She-Hulk, for instance, didn't touch that show. Still refused to. A lot of people hate watched it just so they can talk bad about it. No, I don't even do that. I don't want to. But this show, if I was in a hate watching mood, I would still never watch it. And that's the sad thing about it.
No, you would be able to watch it because you would be sitting there with what on your face for so goddamn long that you won't be able to feel hate because your mind's just sort of like going.
That's the thing. I don't want to be like that. I want to feel something when I watch Star Wars, even if it's The Last Jedi at this point.
Now you can understand why I'm saying I would prefer to watch Kenobi over this. And you know what I think about Kenobi.
I know what you think about
Kenobi. That is pretty grim.
I still don't think Kenobi's as bad as The Last Jedi, but it's, it's getting there. It's getting there.
Well, seeing how I haven't watched seeing how I haven't gotten through the first, I think, 20 minutes of The Last Jedi, I can't. I don't know.
Now that you've watched The Acolyte, it's only uphill from there. Even the Boba Fett's better. It's only uphill.
No. I really need to sit down and watch Book of Boba Fett again because I want to know if I have the exact same reaction to it as I did while watching it.
You won't. After you watch The Acolyte, it's uphill. No matter what, you're going to compare everything that you've watched to The Acolyte and be like, at least we didn't get that. But you're going to have a better opinion.
If you remember, I actually enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett. I thought it was just poorly edited.
Yes.
And there were just some absolute disgraceful decisions. But I thought it was a good idea executed horribly. So yes. I had a positive view on the Book of Boba Fett. Was it as good as The Mandalorian season 1 and 2? Not even it wasn't even in the same same suburb as The Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2. But it was, and I will freely admit it was an absolute dumpster fire. But it was a dumpster fire from a fireworks factory. So you got the explosions of color coming from the dumpster fire. So, it was very much like The Room. You watch it, it was so bad that it was good. Kenobi was not bad. Kenobi was absolutely not bad. It was horrible from episode 1 to episode, what was it, 6?
Yeah, I think. Well,
Yeah.
no, wasn't it? Yeah, I think there was only 6 episodes. And
It just absolute, yeah, just
the
absolute
thing
crap.
is, the thing is about Kenobi though, there were some little things in it that could have been like they could have done something with those little things, and instead of doing the
No,
story that they did.
no. Kenobi needed a full rewrite. It was
Well,
wrong
no, I agree.
from the premise.
What I
Absolutely
mean
from the premise.
is there's like these little ideas, that they had, like what was it? I'm trying to remember stuff about Kenobi now. It's been forever. Like Obi-Wan trying to communicate with Qui-Gon, that they could have done something with it.
Oh,
But they
absolutely. Yeah,
decided to
absolutely.
wait till the very end to do anything at all. They could have had Obi-Wan like sort of just being traumatized and going through like these let's say having visions of Anakin.
No.
They had little bits of that.
Yeah, no,
But
but I mean, what
they
I'm
could have
saying is they
expanded.
shouldn't have. They shouldn't have it.
Oh, really? You don't think
No,
so?
they should not have had that. He is a Jedi Master. He was on the council. He had a job to do. He shouldn't have been, would he have been completely upbeat and happy and, acting like nothing has happened? No, absolutely not. But should he have been, miserable and in that funk? Absolutely not. Most likely he would have been just very sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Lack for a better word, stern, very sort of, very unlike Kenobi.
Well, what I wasn't meaning like he should be miserable. What I meant was I think that he should have had like little instances of PTSD, thinking back about what happened, thinking that could he have done something to stop Anakin from turning this way, and probably questioning himself like, did I do the right thing? Is it my fault that this happened?
Questioning, yes. Questioning, yes. Doubt, yes. PTSD, hell no.
I disagree with that, but I can respect that you don't
No.
think that.
But I mean, the thing is that when you have a solid identity or a solid focus, the human mind can put up with a whole lot of shit, a whole lot of crap. Sorry, I almost went full Australian there.
It's okay.
I almost have several times in wanting to describe things in this show.
Oh, it is very hard to not speak in my native language. Yeah, no, the when you have a role, to do, it can very much hold up any and a lot of trauma. Most of the time when people go and, well, do a Master Torben, it's when they've lost their identity. It's when they've lost the thing that was keeping them up. And the thing was that Kenobi had to look after and train Luke. So that would have kept him.
I understand that. I get what you're going with that. I'm not saying like give him like that whole like Luke Skywalker from Last Jedi outlook on everything. It's just with those little instances of PTSD. What I'm talking about with that is Vader's sort of on the hunt for Obi-Wan. I would rather like if he let's say he meets back up with Vader at some point, that's when, like, after their encounter, he starts having those moments of PTSD. He sees fire, just thinks of Anakin burning, those kinds of little things, and that would kick off like this trying to come to terms with what happened and trying to move on past that. Not saying that he hasn't that he's lost his way, because Obi-Wan's not that kind of Jedi. I don't believe he'd be like he was at the beginning of the Kenobi show, where he lets that other Jedi die. I don't see him doing that unless
No, I
it
honestly could.
interfered. I mean,
Yeah.
unless it interfered with his mission with Luke, that would be the instance that I'm thinking of, that he would let that happen. So,
Yep.
I don't exactly like the way they handled it in Kenobi, but that instance, yes, I can see that happening. I just don't see him doing that as I feel like as coldly as he did. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. I personally would have rather seen him struggle a little bit with thoughts of the past and trying to move past it. I feel like that would have built his character up a little bit, showing that he's not just a orders following machine like he was in the movies, that he is a at the end of the day, a person who lost
I
somebody that he cared about and feels responsible for.
I think I can't remember if I actually stated what they should have done for season 1 and 2 for Kenobi. I can't remember if I did.
You probably did.
But
it's been a while.
You want me to go through it again?
Huh? I
You
mean,
want me to go through it again?
It's up to you, but really, I mean, we already had this discussion like forever ago. I believe you already went over this once with us, because you talked about how you didn't want them going like over this Leia storyline, where Leia is taken, and
Yeah, no,
no.
And I mean the thing was that they should not have had Luke or Leia as main characters. Extras,
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely. On the peripheral, yeah, absolutely. Now, does that mean they're not part of the story? No, absolutely not. Luke is very much part of the story, but he's not a main character. He's you could almost say a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
But the way I viewed it was that Kenobi is going through his life on Tatooine. He keeps on pestering Lars it's Uncle Lars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owen Lars.
To Owen Lars, that's it. Uncle Owen, that's it. Kept on pestering Owen to let him train Luke. Owen's going, no, God no, hell no, all this type of situation. And then Kenobi catches an assassin trying to assassinate Luke. Hang on a second. How did anyone know Luke was important enough for an assassin? And that's what gets Kenobi off Tatooine, searching for the assassin. Luke still stays in Tatooine. He doesn't move.
Exactly.
But Kenobi goes off on an adventure. And after 6 episodes, he finally finds the mastermind. And that mastermind is a former Master Jedi. Because that Master Jedi has seen something of the future and has seen Luke become Vader's right-hand man. So the Master goes, oh God, no, and sends someone to kill Luke. Now,
that sounds like a better plot.
Why do we have that? So Kenobi understands that it was not. one of the reasons why Kenobi wants to train Luke is because he views it as they trained Anakin too late.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the season, he realizes that it had nothing to do with A, the training, or B, his age. So Kenobi goes, maybe he doesn't need to be trained by me. And that's where you end season 1. Him, Kenobi actually not going back to Tatooine. And then season 2, you can have Kenobi helping out the Resistance, or, because, I don't think the Rebels would have been started yet, so, helping other Jedi get away and hide and yada, 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 yada. And that's when you have Vader being the antagonist for season 2. That's where you can have the oh shit. Oh, sorry, I just spoke Australian. Oh crap. Vader, this absolute insane, crazy person murdering and genociding all over the goddamn place, is Anakin Skywalker. Dun dun dun. And that's when you can have Kenobi deal with anything to do with Anakin and the prequels. You have it end with them having a fight. You have Vader win, but something breaks, or he falls off a cliff, or something like that. What you actually, my viewpoint is that you have it on a forest or something like that.
I've got to run.
Kenobi,
but you need to, please Disney hire Saray away, and yeah, please, please.
He's coming up with the stuff off the fly, and he's coming up with better ideas than what they
Please
had
hire
time to
Saray
make.
away before we all Torben ourselves. Please.
Yeah. Torben ourselves.
I think it's a little bit too late. I think Disney's already Torbened themselves.
Hold on. How do you spell Torben?
Torbin.
Sounds right. I buy it. You should add an E at the end.
Add an E at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, no. Hold on. I got this.
Hey. It could be French.
I mean, you never know.
Torben. At which point you do not pronounce the E. Of course, that would mean that the word's feminine. So, I think.
Well, that would be fitting. Yeah.
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 The thread is female.
Oh God.
Remember,
but
hashtag Torben ourselves. All right.
I'll leave it on that high note. Take care.
All right. Have a good one.
Too.
All right.
But hang on. I'll just finish, because most of the ideas that I've had for season 2, I didn't have when I first explained all this. But for a season 2, you have Vader find Kenobi on a jungle planet. Let's just say jungle planet. You have Kenobi save a creature. You make it seem so innocuous or something like that. You have Vader and Kenobi fight. You have Vader pretty much win, and Sorry, I just read at what's at the bottom.
Yep. It shows a 10 out of 10 with Torben again.
Yeah, you have Kenobi. Sorry, for 5 seconds I'm going Torben. No, Kenobi. You have Kenobi save a creature from something, maybe a trap. I don't know, but it seems very innocuous.
Mm-hmm.
You have Kenobi and Vader fight. You have Vader pretty much overpower him, and somehow Kenobi falls off a cliff type of situation. And then Vader, searches with the Force to see if Kenobi's still alive, but he cannot find Kenobi. So he goes, cool, he must be dead, and he pisses off. But Kenobi is alive. And why couldn't Vader find him through the Force? Because of the creature he saved before. Because the creature had an anti-Force
That would
ability.
that would be the Islamari from Heir to the Empire.
There you go. Maybe he saves one of those. I don't know. But I knew there were creatures like that in the universe. So
yeah,
that's how you use it. So that's why Vader on the Death Star is sort of like going, I can feel something that I haven't felt in a long time. Or whatever the line was. That's why he's so confused, because he's meant to be dead. And that's why he's not so rage-filled, because he killed Kenobi. Or he thinks he killed Kenobi.
Well, though the scene where he says, last time we met I was but the learner, but now I am the master. That would imply though that he lost, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, yes, you can read it. You can sort of read it multiple ways, but it could, yeah.
I mean, look, we already had our Kenobi stream.
Yeah.
Let's
get
talk
back
something
to the
Acolyte.
Well, I'm not too sure if there's anything more really. Though I think it was the drinker. I think it was the critical drinker. He called the poison creator Bargain Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like. Is that Ezra Miller?
And then went, oh no, it can't be, because that would mean Ezra Miller had value.
Well,
but I mean, oh, go ahead. Go.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Pretty much with most of the Disney Star Wars material, I could sit there and watch it and go, I think I know how I could fix this. I've got no idea how I can fix this.
You would Torben
when yourself. It comes to the Acolyte, I've got no idea how you fix this. just
you can't. That's the thing.
No. Well, sorry, hang on. There is one way of fixing it. And that's by willowing it. Yes,
Yep. Just should not
it's
exist.
it is. You should. It's yeah. The only way you could fix this would be to take it off streaming like Willow, or like or never releasing it like Batgirl, never having it see the light of day again.
Look,
Um,
the thing is though that would imply that they knew it wasn't going to be good. And I mean, we can already imply that right now, and they just wanted to put it out anyways because of the message, or as the critical drinker would say, the
the
message, but with
message.
like reverb and all that awesome editing stuff that he does. But the thing is though, they have their minds so deep into this ideology that they have. They value it over profit. They know it's not going to work, but they feel like they're doing a service to everybody by shoving this junk in everybody's face. And, you
And they're
know,
simply not.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, maybe I'm reading too deep, but honestly, with the Acolyte, it's hard to say that. It probably
Read
is
deep.
what it seems like. Um, but like with this scene right here, isn't the only few white guys in this show seem to be terrible people. That or they are like Torben here who want to pay reparations.
Torben
I think that's
themselves.
the word. Yeah, Torben. They want to show that they are sorry, so they will do anything that the diverse character asks because it's a representation of what they think that white people should do in real life to these marginalized communities. Man, I feel so weird saying all these weird words that they use. Um, I mean, the reason I say that is because I look at people as people. I don't care what you are, you know. But grouping everybody together and giving out labels like that, I don't like it. So
Actually,
when
it's really kind of funny. All the people that use stuff like white privilege and all that, um, and are really into the message.
hmm
It's amazing how they don't like labels, and yet they will
maybe
label
the first
anyone a
one's the
bigot
label.
for just not agreeing with whether you should use a fork and knife to eat food. Uh,
See, that's the problem. Nobody looks at people as people anymore. They look at them by what color their skin is or what they identify
oh,
as. That's not how
no,
you
no,
look at
no,
people.
no. People do look at people as people.
I'm talking about
Just they don't.
these crazy
They just
ones.
don't work. They just don't work in Hollywood.
Exactly. Like most of the people that I know don't care, whether you're black or white. They'll treat you
But
or
that's
Asian or anything
racism.
like that.
That's
They'll treat you the
racism.
same. Yeah, apparently. I can I now I know this is one of those stereotypical moments where you say you have a black friend so you're not racist kind of thing, but I work with people of color. Like one of my favorite people. I'm not going to say her name. Is Korean. She's one of the sweetest people in the world, and uh, if and not to mention, I also have another friend. He's black. Now he and I have a very similar taste in things that we enjoy, and we talk all the time. Well, we used to. I don't get to see him as much now because of my new job that I've got in that place. It keeps me away from most of the people that I used to know, unfortunately. But when I was working more closely with them, like anytime we talked about anything, it was like, let's say One Piece. He loves One Piece. I like One Piece. I'm starting to like it anyways. I'm not like I'm starting to watch it a little bit, but I'm intimidated by the length of the series. Anyways, not getting into that rant, but I don't look at them by their skin color and say, hey, this is the kind of person I don't want to talk to because they look different than me. He likes what I like. He's a person. He bleeds red just like I do. Why do I need to feel like I should hate him? I mean, I don't. That's the thing. But like, where
No,
do these people
it's not that
think that I should
it's
feel
not that
that?
it's not that you should hate him. It's you should be bowing down and kissing his feet and apologizing for what your ancestors' ancestors' ancestor did to him.
But that's the
What
thing.
it is,
He
I've
doesn't
got no
care.
idea. But that's how it's meant to go. So at some point in time, somehow with some way, your ancestor did something to him.
Yeah.
Even if they never met.
I mean, exactly. Exactly. Now, mind you, well, actually, I
That's how white guilt's
this
meant to
is,
happen, right?
yeah, yeah. So another thing I want to mention, now there is true racism in this world. I'm not going to deny it. Like my friend that I was talking about earlier, not the black one, the Korean one. Like when the virus that shall not be named, I'm sure I'm probably still not allowed to say that on YouTube.
What, COVID?
Okay, thanks. Yeah, that one. Anyway, um, the when that was going on at my place of work, um, people just customers that come in, they were, ridiculing her, saying basically saying that she was the cause of the virus
Oh, you're
because
kidding.
I'm not joking. There is real racism in the world. I've seen it firsthand, and that's the thing. Like those people, they don't understand. They're stupid, and I do not
Yeah,
I
I
do not
I don't
at
know
all
if you
agree
would
with them.
really call that racism though.
Well, it is because
Because the thing
they're
is,
ridiculing a race
yeah,
because of one thing or another.
but it's sort of one of those sort of situations of when there's a heightened sense of fear, it's not as what a lot of I it's not when there's a heightened sense of fear, it's not what people's inner thoughts are were what they would be normally. If that's what I was trying, that's sort of what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So, is it ignorant? Oh God, yes, no, 100% ignorant. Just yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean that those people were, were they, were their actions racist? Yes. Would I say that they're racist? No.
Well, I look at it slightly different. The reason, the way I see it is they see somebody of that ethnicity and automatically go, "Hey, uh, this person is one of those people." Hey, Chrono. Of course, you're all going to rant about the white guys not being heroes. That's what white supremacists do. You're right, Chrono. You're right. You're right. Oh, give me just a second. I gotta step away for just a second.
Oh no. What has he done? He's given me the entire stream all to myself. What can we do? Oh, that's right. Absolutely nothing because I've got no ability to change anything. So I guess I've got a captive audience for another 5 minutes? I don't know. Oh dear. So hang on. Why aren't you on stream, Chrono? Come on, talk to me. Give me something to bounce off. Nope. Okay, I guess I'm getting no audience participation. So I guess I need to just be entertaining. And I've got no idea what to do. Help! Nah, that's this is fun. I can say whatever I want. Oh, jeez! Wow, there's a delay.
Hello there. Long time
Hello
no
there.
see. I do have
Bruno,
to step away.
you might need to.
for
Bruno, you
a
might need
couple minutes.
to close down the YouTube video.
All right. So yeah, give me just a couple minutes, guys. This stuff always happens while I'm streaming, of course. I will be right back. Okay.
Which family members interrupting now?
It will. Well, my niece, sorta. She had 3
There
shots
we
today.
go.
She's running a fever. They want me to bring Motrin to her, so I'll be back.
Okay.
Give me just a couple minutes. You guys can do this without me. You guys are
Oh
awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys can do it. I have total faith. Anyways, I'll be back.
Gee, what a surprise! The white guy leaves the others in charge.
Okay, listen here. Listen here. Trying to talk about me as I leave. How dare you?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to spend the entire time ragging you out.
That's about right. Okay. You know what? I can't stop you. I'll be back.
It's his mistake allowing his minority friend and an Australian alone on a stream together.
It does feel like that.
Oh dear. How are you,
So,
Chrono? I haven't talked to you for ages.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm fine. So, how many brain cells have died since you started checking the acolyte?
Not enough to enjoy it. I still have far too many. Have you watched the entire stream, or have you only just?
No, I just got home.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me just give you a brief rundown on what I think about the Acolyte, just to spend some time.
Please do.
It has absolutely exceeded my expectations. It just
in the negative scale, I guess.
It damn it. Yes, absolutely. It has exceeded my expectations. I thought it was going to be a dumpster fire. Frankly, the Acolyte makes Chernobyl look good.
Yes, I agree.
It just pretty much in everything that Disney has come out with, I have at least found something either redeemable or savable.
True.
There is nothing in the Acolyte that should be just it. The Acolyte should have just been Batgirls. They should have just watched the episodes and gone, Oh, this is a tax write-off.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess part of it is that the previous shows at least had some connection to the original characters we know and love, and this one is all about the High Republic, which no one likes.
Yeah. and funny enough, the writing in the Alkalite is just is the same quality as the writing in the High Republic books.
Yeah, it kind of shows that the source material wasn't helping.
Yeah, I'm. It's just one of those things that I don't know how you could fix any of this except by not releasing it.
I really don't know what they were thinking. They probably didn't have a way out.
Oh, I know what they were thinking. Well, at least I knew what someone was thinking, and that was scissoring. Or take that, Dad.
Yeah. Did you see the stunt they pulled for Father's Day?
No.
They were promoting the Acolyte soundtrack as a gift for Father's Day.
Yeah, where the protagonist and the antagonist are both fatherless children. Yeah, great idea, guys.
A show with no fathers is going to show you about fatherhood.
Yep. Oh. And this is why Disney stocks dipped under $1. No, hang on. How does it go again? I don't know. I don't buy stocks.
They also now hold the record for the less pirated show.
Yes, I heard about that. And I think it's actually the worst reviewed, audience reviewed show in Star Wars history. Yeah. It even beats the Ewok cartoons.
Yes.
Which makes me want to watch the Ewok cartoons just so I can then go on Rotten Tomatoes and go, yeah, it's not that bad actually.
I was going back in my mind to when Shade forced us to watch the holiday special, and I think I was too hard on that.
The holiday special. The holiday special. What the hell is that sound?
Yes, you did.
Oh.
Maybe a little.
Hey, I would happily watch the holiday special again, then watch the Alkalites.
Yes,
I know. I just now realized we should be very grateful for the Acolyte. We should be so grateful. It made us really appreciate what we got before, even if it wasn't good.
And I mean, the thing was that the holiday special was bad, but at least it was funny bad, not oh dear God bad.
Yeah.
And the Alkalite is oh dear God, this is bad. Please stop.
Yeah, because the holiday special made no sense trying to be funny. The Acolyte makes no sense because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The holiday special. Perfect timing. But yeah, the holiday special was extremely wacky, and you could just sit there, turn your brain off, and just let the absurdity just wash over you. Where the Alkalite is actually trying to tell the story, and it's absurd.
Yep.
You can't just switch off your brain and let the absurdity wash over you, because
Oh no, the Acolyte goes further because it will shut your brain down for you.
no, it will force poison down your throat.
Yeah.
No, it will make us torment ourselves.
Exactly.
10 out of 10.
Oh,
Torben
Now
again.
going to be known as pulling a Torben.
My favorite part of the movie is when he said it's Torben. It's Torben time. Hold on.
far out. Hang on, let's see if this. No, have we actually checked if that's the right spelling?
Nope, but I'm happy with it.
But actually going back to Yord and the Yord Horde. I just wish they'd all go back to Tumblr. Can we just eject them out of all the fandoms and just throw them back into Tumblr and just encapsulate Tumblr into a walled off area of the world and just have them ship all over the place?
I mean, I have no words for this show. Not anymore. No words except words of negativity. I don't really have a positive thing to say about this besides Soul is the only one that I can really like.
I'm going to grant that show this one accomplishment. It made you hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually the lenient one. But not this time.
Okay, this is crazy. I've just looked up. Okay, yeah, no, I. Okay, no. Hang on, that looks familiar. Yeah, no, I've just looked up the actor that plays Torben, and you've got the spelling right. And Jesus, they did a really good job in making him look butt ugly. Just
I know, right?
Yeah, absolutely, just an amazing job making him look just an absolute joke.
And this is like a theme in current Star Wars. They did the same for Master Soul. The guy looks terrible.
Looks
really
better than Torben.
He does, but I mean, if you look at him in Squid Game and then look at him here, it's like, why did you make him look like a homeless person? His hair is terrible.
Actually, I can't remember who said it, but they said they made Soul look like a lesbian.
Huh?
Yes, I agree.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't get it
Hold on a
either. But
second.
hey,
Well, he
Okay.
needed to fit in.
I mean, I don't know. I have no words. But I think there was one more thing I wanted to mention before we ended the stream for tonight. I'm trying to think of what it was. Well, I actually was wanting to mention something about the Bad Batch since we never. I mean, we're going to review it in a separate stream, of course. But I wanted to mention something about it. But where Commander Tano's not here, I'm afraid to say anything at the moment. I want her to be
yeah,
here
don't.
because it directly has something to do with something she tweeted about, and it reminded me of something. So I'm not going to talk about it yet. We're going to save that for the next stream. And honestly, I think we should. Review Tales of the Jedi along with the Bad Batch because both of them are animated, or Tales of the Empire. Sorry, which I'm not going to give my stance on yet. I'm not. It's.
Well,
I
I
will
haven't
say
seen
it's
either of
better
them.
than the Acolyte. So yeah, I will say
Sorry,
that.
say that again.
I said I will say it is better than the Acolyte, but that's a given at this point. I'm sure.
Yeah, that's
I
a
mean,
very low bar.
Well,
the
frankly, that is such a
15%
low bar that
audience,
yeah.
the 15% audience score sort of it's very telling, Actually, it might even be lower than that by now. I don't know. I haven't looked at it as of recent. Last I heard it was 15.
Yeah, let's have a look. I've got.
So Shade, how dead inside were you when you found out about episode 3?
The only thing I could think about from the third episode is the chant. Do you want to do the chant with me? Saray Away and Commander Tano didn't. Come on. The power of one. The power of two. The power of many. Yes!
Yes.
Yeah. Just so you, Chrono, just so you know, Shade and Lady Tano did not watch any episodes of The Acolyte.
No.
Neither have I.
refuse.
Oh, neither. Oh, God! Really?
You're the only one that tortured yourself.
I watched the erotic reviews. I trusted the guy.
Well,
He said it
so
himself.
many people.
He said it himself. I watch it so you don't have to.
That is true. I watched his video as well. I really enjoyed his video. I watched him. I watched Tyrone Magnus. I watched Critical Drinker. I've watched It's a Gundam. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
I've watched Nuxanor. He was the one I was talking about that put a filter over the episode and was just watching and sort of placing commentary over the episode as we watched it. That's where I watched the first episode from. So I have watched the first episode technically, just not technically at the same time.
I watch a VTuber I frequent. She's called Altiori, and what I like about her review is that she goes into a lot of detail about the way the characters are portrayed when they interact with each other. And she mentioned something that really bothered me.
What?
They are really trying too hard to make the Jedi look like predators.
They are.
Yep.
And that's really hurtful because they are flawed. We know this, but they are not like that.
No. Actually, that's one point. And this actually goes to your point, Chrono, is that in episode 3, the Jedi are on the home planet of the witches. Do we know why? No.
apparently they thought
Why
the
are
place
they?
was abandoned, but
Yeah,
infiltrated
they thought
it
the
anyway.
place was abandoned. You know, yeah, okay. Maybe they're there to do child protective services. Yet again, why? Oh, it's so they can look on other why? It's so that why? We get none of that. We have no idea why they're on the goddamn planet.
Yeah, they are trying to sell.
And they're sneaking around.
Yeah,
Yet again, why? There's no reason for them to do this.
they are trying to sell this narrative that they kind of went around the galaxy kidnapping children, and that wasn't the case.
No, it wasn't. And I also want to mention, because you were talking about how they're trying way too hard to make the Jedi look bad. Well, gosh dang it, I lost my train of thought. I had something I wanted to say. Oh, no. Okay, it sort of relates to this. They're trying to make the good guys seem like they're the bad guys at this point. That's basically a given fact. I remember in one of the interviews, and I mentioned this earlier in stream, about Anakin blowing up the Death Star.
Yeah.
I think that was like at the very beginning of the stream. I mentioned that, or you and I mentioned that, sorry, away when Commander Tano was talking about it.
Yes.
And yeah, we had our mind in the same place. Anyways, so not only were in that interview were they talking about let's pretend they weren't they didn't make that dumb mistake of saying Anakin blew up the Death Star. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen for just a second and talk about Luke blowing up the Death Star. The argument doesn't hold up at all, but this is the argument they made, but they just kept saying Anakin. Okay, but this is my version of the argument. So what they said was when the Death Star got blown up, millions of people, thousands of people, I don't know how many they said.
Yeah, millions.
Millions. Yeah. Okay. And they were talking about how what is the morality of that? They were talking about it as if Luke or Anakin, but Luke was the bad guy at that point because he killed millions of people by blowing up that Death Star. The thing is, these idiots don't understand Star Wars. The people that are part of the Empire, they took part in the destruction of Alderaan. They were on that station. They fight for that cause.
Yeah,
yeah.
Even though they didn't go down there.
It was built to destroy. I mean,
exactly.
Millions. You know, a million people died on the Death Star. Yeah, after they flew away, killing billions on a planet.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, what's the morality
the morals
of that?
Of blowing up those people.
Dark, you know.
Yeah.
That a good guy blew up millions of people. Yeah, those millions of people blew up billions more before that were completely innocent. So,
but this is quite understandable because it comes from the other argument they were saying in that interview. They clearly said Star Wars is not about good versus evil, and I'm like, did you
yes,
not?
Yes, it is.
They clearly didn't. Now, I will admit one thing. I think the line between what's good and evil was blurred a little bit with Star Wars Episode 3, but I think they were like meaning that to happen because it's Anakin's turn to the dark side. We're seeing the dark side of the Jedi a little bit because we see how not necessarily corrupt, I guess, but you know how sort of wrong they are.
What do you mean?
Even though they're still technically, I mean, well, what I'm saying is the Jedi put Anakin in a bad position, and you know it's because they got, in my opinion, they got too involved with politics. You know, and we've had this discussion before. We're seeing
everything. Where have we seen that?
The thing is with the Jedi, of the prequel trilogy is they became too political, and I think they sort of lost their way. They were still technically the good guys, you know. They weren't. That was also an accident. They weren't exactly wrong, but they were losing their way from what I feel the Jedi were supposed to be. And when I think of that, I think of Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon was the
Yeah.
ultimate image of what a Jedi should be. That's why he
Yeah.
wasn't on the council. So through the trilogy, we get to see these little things that sort of point us in the direction of the Jedi just sort of not being what they should be. They weren't
Yeah,
necessarily bad; they were just misguided.
No. But I mean, the thing is that at no point would you be saying that the Jedi are evil.
Oh
That's the
no,
big
I'd
difference.
never say that. That's the thing.
Yeah,
We get to see little hints of like misguidedness with the Jedi, showing that they're not like these perfect beings, you know.
no,
But I mean, but we still
it
know
showed
that they are
that
the
they
good
were
guys,
human. Also,
that
they showed that
that
they were
they were
mortal.
flawed.
That,
Yes,
but it didn't. But they
it didn't
never.
paint them in a bad light.
No. But they never succumbed. They never succumbed to being evil.
Exactly.
It was just that the world around them had changed so much that
they were having to change along with it.
they were having to change along with it, becoming something that they weren't really designed to be.
Yeah, I mean they were fighting a war. Jedi are not meant to fight wars. They were just keepers of the peace.
Yep.
And like Mace Windu said, we're
Yeah,
keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
You can see the same situation unfold like that in the comic books. When you read Golden Age of the Sith and you see the Jedi role at the time, you can also see that planets were at war. They were caught in the middle. They made wrong choices. They paid for it. So yeah, I mean they ended up doing wrong things, but they were trying their best.
Exactly.
They were out of their element.
And the thing is, it wasn't even their fault. This whole thing was played out by Darth Sidious. He was playing both sides. See, that's the difference.
Playing them like a fiddle.
Exactly, that's the difference, though. The Jedi were merely pawns in a bigger game in the prequel trilogy, and
they
were
didn't
flawed.
realize it.
Exactly, they were flawed, and their flaws were used against them, especially when turning Anakin to the dark side. That's the whole point of Anakin seeing all these things and talking about how this is not the Jedi way, or the Council should, why is the Council asking this of me? Or he didn't say that. He's like, why are you asking this of me? Because he was asked to spy on the Chancellor. Why was he asked to spy on the Chancellor? He felt like this was wrong. Now, mind you, the Jedi were right to be suspicious, but they were already too deeply involved in politics as it was, and they shouldn't have been. But here we are, and now he's being sent to spy on the leader of the Republic, which, like I said, granted, he is a bad guy. But the idea of that, because he formed a slight, I guess you could say he formed an attachment. And yeah, attachments do tend to lead you to the dark side. But all these things that are happening, he's starting to question his faith in the Jedi. His trust, as he said, has been shaken. There's things that he has had to do, or things that they've done to him that he disagrees with, or things that aren't the Jedi way. We're seeing all these mistakes that the Jedi are making, and they're all adding up together in this movie, and it's turning him slightly. I mean, even though it wasn't in the movie, we can also talk about how they treated Ahsoka at the end of the Clone Wars, or well, the original end of the Clone Wars before they finally brought it back. Where they allowed Ahsoka to be falsely accused. They didn't stand by her. They just went along with, with all the politicians and stuff when they were, or not just politicians, but they were just letting the governing body trample all over them because of they wanted their political standing. They didn't want to seem
Well,
as, I guess, unruly or whatever. I don't know, but
yeah.
they were allowing too many. They were compromising too much. That's what I want to say.
And
And all
they
this
had
stuff was adding up.
they had two problems going on at the same time, and it was all Mace and Yoda's fault. Mace was too arrogant and presumed to know what was best for everyone, and Yoda
Mm-hmm.
was too afraid to step in and moderate and say, "Look, I see where you're coming from, but let's not be too harsh. Let's do this or that." And the two of
Mm-hmm.
them didn't actually do their roles as council heads, and a lot of them were just left in the wind doing what they could.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. We can criticize them, but we still look at them as the good guys. The Jedi and the Acolyte, we criticize them, and we also are meant to see them as the bad guys. In certain scenes, the Jedi are using the Force as a weapon, basically. Like when Yord walks into the Trade Federation vessel. I think it's Trade Federation or separate, not Separatist, Trade Federation. I think they're Trade Federation.
Yes.
They come onto the vessel, and they're trying to deflect from taking any accountability for doing something illegal by using what are they, mechanics, I think.
McNix.
Yeah. Like, we know that's illegal. Why would we do that? So Yord just comes up with the Force and is getting ready to use the Force. They're scared of it. They're like, what is he about to do to me? They're trying to show that the Jedi are going out all willy-nilly, using the Force more as a intimidation to others rather than as a comfort to others. If you see a Jedi, you're supposed to,
They're painting them as police. It's like
police brutality. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're trying to paint it as. They want to show the Jedi as police and abusing their power. That's the whole thing. Like, the Jedi aren't supposed to be like that. The Jedi only care about others.
Well, they're meant to be warrior monks.
Yeah, exactly.
They're meant to be warrior monks. At worst, they should be doing diplomacy.
Mm-hmm. They're just there to make sure there's peace. That's it. They're not there to fight wars. They're not there to go around policing the galaxy. It's just if there's a situation that gets out of hand that the Jedi are allowed to, by their code, to mess with, then they will step in. It can't be just them going around like the actual police taking care of every single situation that happens. The Jedi have a code, and that allows them to either interject themselves into situations or not interject. Like, if you want, for an example, in the Clone Wars, when with the episode with I think it's called Bounty Hunters, if I'm not mistaken. It's where Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan crash on Felucia. Okay, and the Felucians, I think that's what they're called. Well, whatever the little alien creatures are, they're little farmers. They run a little village, and then Hondo and his band, are basically taking their crop, as payment for protection and stuff like that. But see, it's payment, but it leaves them with nothing. They're basically taking everything they got, and these people want to be rid of it. So they hired bounty hunters. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka stumble upon this. They get the rundown of the whole situation. Obi-Wan's like, "We would love to help, but we can't." And he goes and explains exactly why they can't, because this is more of a dispute between, or how do you say it? It's not. It's a civil matter. Yeah, it's a civil matter. The Jedi aren't supposed to be going around policing these things. If it were this version of the Jedi, they would have went in there and been like, okay, let's go take care of these guys. Now that might sound good, but these guys, these Jedi aren't going to go in all diplomatically and try to talk to them. No, these Jedi are going to go in and use the Force on them. They're going to either use the Force to stabilize their mind, or like Soul did to that very violent criminal on the ship, and that's a whole other situation that I can talk about later. Maybe not tonight on this stream, but maybe later, especially once we get more episodes of the Acolyte, we can talk more about that. But they're using the Force for everything. They're using it for intimidation. They're basically manipulating people's minds with it. I mean, yeah, you got the Jedi mind trick thing, but not all Jedi go around using it for every little situation.
We have been told this by several Jedi how many times that the Force is not a toy. It's not like you're supposed to solve any problem with it.
As
and actually,
Yoda
that's
it,
one thing. Go.
Okay. As Yoda puts it, the Force is only used for knowledge and defense, never for attack. And basically, when you go around using it as an intimidation tool, that's basically the same thing as using it for an attack. You're initiating the conflict by using the Force in that way. It's basically like throwing the first punch.
And that's actually one thing. And that's actually one thing. I don't know if they don't realize this or not, but there's a big difference between gaining power through knowledge and the knowledge of power.
Mm-hmm.
Jedi gain power through knowledge, while the Sith gain knowledge of power. And those are two, and even though I use the same words just in different orders, those mentalities are completely different.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
With the knowledge, gaining power from knowledge, that means gaining all these tools that you can use before you even need to think about using power.
Mm-hmm.
So, yet again, that's Yord walking in and using his knowledge to get what he wants instead of going, I will just mind rape you.
Yeah.
And drag it out of your thing. Now, I mean, Soul's use of the mind calming, that one I can. That's fine,
But that's the thing, though. The fact that it exists is a problem, though.
What, calming someone's mind?
Yes, with the Force, because at that point you can change almost anybody. You can go around.
No, that's not changing
everybody's mind.
That's not if their minds, not if their mind's already calm.
Well, no. What I'm saying is a lot of situations. See, the thing is, they just like light speed ramming. You introduce something that's never been done, you can change so many of the situations in the previous movies just by using that one particular trick. So if you go around, calming all your enemies' minds, eventually there's going to be, no war with those people. They're just, they're like, oh, okay, never mind. I don't feel aggression against you anymore. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's like the Force healing thing. It's like the Force healing thing because we never saw this before, and if we go back, as you say, it's like, why didn't you use that before?
Yeah, but I mean that's a little bit different. The Force healing is just so completely out of the loop. It's not funny.
Well,
But
given,
when it comes
given,
to
I
when
will
it
give
comes
this
to
to you though. You watched the episode, I didn't, so I didn't get to see the full context of that scene. Maybe I would have a different opinion if I watched it, but I'll give
Yeah.
that one to you though.
well, yeah, I'll give you the context. You had someone who was having for a lack of a better term, a psychological freak out. This wasn't someone who was just aggressive and angry and I'm gonna kill you. No, he was just skitzing out, and Saul's just come in and gone, calm your mind. Essentially, let me help you, which allowed Saul to then talk to the guy. So this was not I'm gonna kill you and I'm angry. Oh, calm your mind. Oh, I don't want to kill you anymore. No, it wasn't like that. It was you couldn't get anything out of this guy. He was just you would ask, you could probably ask the guy, what do you want to eat? And the response you would have gotten would have been
Okay, I mean, I understand what you're saying there, and with that added context, it does make it better, in my opinion, but it doesn't excuse the fact that it opens the doors for other things. They could change that, or even have other applications for that particular power. Just because
but that is the mind trick. It's just a different application of the mind trick that we've seen since episode 4. It's just a different application of that thing. It's not, you would not be able to use that in combat. It's not a get out of, for a lack of better term, get out of jail free card for getting into fights. It is just.
You're right.
If someone wants to kill you, and you're trying to use the Jedi mind trick to calm him down, no, he's going to still want to try and kill you.
Well, what I'm saying though is it opens doors to other things. That's the problem. That they could use that in other ways.
It was a door that was already open. It was a door that was already open.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. Usually, if you use a Jedi mind trick, you have to say what you're wanting them to do, and they'll repeat it back. As if they're in a trance. In this case, though, I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't seem to be in a trance. He was just calmed. Correct?
That's the same thing.
No, being in a trance, you sort of like.
No.
You can tell a difference in how they say things and stuff. Like they have no will of their own.
I'll use an example. I'll use an example. Hypnosis.
Well, that's the same thing, though. The same thing as...
No. But I mean, hypnosis, yeah, they put him in the trance, but you could have a full conversation with someone that's under hypnosis.
Well, yeah, but
it's the same thing. There's no difference, dude.
I guess we could see it as something like the way they calm their own minds when meditating. They probably just apply that to the other person.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you can put it that way. Why are we defending this?
No. I'm not. It's not so much defending. It's not so much defending the Alkalite. It's being more fair. Just sort of.
Okay. We're okay. Well, let me put it this way. It still sort of plays into the Jedi are too freely using the Force.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Just Master Soul is not the best example for that.
No, you're right. he's probably one of the only few examples that we can give for a good use of that. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Master Soul is it's like a parallel to Master Qui-Gon. He's supposed to be like the wise, kind-hearted Jedi.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to get into this now. I'll probably mention it next time we stream or whatever. But I will briefly mention that he also makes a really good point about sentimentality, like being a different than attachment. And that I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm just saying that his character seems to be smarter. Even though the writing is still terrible, he seems to be the only character that seems to understand the Force better, or just understand the Jedi code and the Force in general better. At least from what I've
better
seen
than the
and
writers.
better than the writers.
He seems to be the one guy who really takes his role seriously.
Exactly. And that's the only good thing I can give the show. You can't say that I was 100% negative, at least 99%, but you can't say I was 100. You can't say that. I do like Soul, and those little things about his character are actually pretty decent. And I'm not, I'll give that to it, And if there was a show just basically all about him, I would for sure probably give it a try. Even though I hate the Acolyte in general, just because I hate that doesn't
And the
mean I wouldn't give that a try.
Republic.
I hate the High Republic, but I might give that.
You could go read the High Republic Adventures of Master Soul.
Oh, is that a thing?
I don't know, but you could try and search for his mentions.
Oh, he is? I might have to look that up. If that is true, I'm slightly interested in his character, but that's the most interest you'll get from this show out of me.
Yeah,
because the rest of it, the rest of it is basically what you're seeing on screen right here. That's me right now. Anyways, it's Torben time. It's Torben time.
So that's you after a long shift?
Huh?
So that's you after a long shift?
Oh yeah. Look, I could tell you about it later. I've got stories, but going back to this right here, the worst thing so far though has been the explanation of what the Force is to those witches. I think they shouldn't have even been involved with the Force.
You mean the thread?
Yeah, the thread. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't gonna get that confused because they clearly explain that they know better, and it's the thread.
Yeah, that's true. They do know better, clearly, And I can go on about the impact of what they have done with this show, like what it has on the rest of the movies that came before it. I mean, Anakin's the vergence that he was in the Force. That's no longer special. Basically, now you're going to have people theorizing, was Shmi one of those witches, and who was the other mother? At this point.
God.
Oh no! You did you hear the best theory about that?
No, I've not.
They say that plague is learned from the witches.
Okay, now we're going to not go down that road. We're not going to go down that road. No, look, I think. I mean, look, if they went to using Dathomir witches like you mentioned earlier, Soraya Way, this would have been probably a little bit better and more understandable. I don't agree with how they used the Force to create another being. That's what Plagueis did, and the Force answered back against that, or that's what Plagueis tried to do, and the Force answered back with Anakin, that's the problem with the Acolyte. It's going completely against everything that was before it and trying to reshape what what we have, and
in
you
its
can't
own
do that.
image.
In its own image, exactly. And
One of the responses to that criticism was that they don't understand why we complain about something being so restrictive. And I'm like, bitch, that's the point. You're not supposed to be able to just produce babies from the Force.
exactly, Anakin was a special case. It basically just space Jesus, as they say. And
Yeah.
And I mean, it was meant to be from the Force, not
exactly, the Force
through
itself
the Force.
is its own thing. See,
The cosmic Force was what was meant to have impregnated Shmi. I mispronounced that. Anakin's mum.
Shmi.
Um,
SHMI. Shmi.
Anakin's mum. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, no,
But-
it was meant to be the cosmic Force that sort of went, yeah, things are getting a little bit stuffed here. Impregnate woman. Not, oh, hey, let's get this person to come over here and thread a baby into this person over here.
Well, I look at it slightly different. See, the Force. Let's put it in simpler terms here. Let's compare it to, let's say, Christianity's God. And I think the Force is sort of based off of that. See, God is an all-powerful being that's had sent his son down to earth to cleanse the sins of all people, basically, with his sacrifice. The same way Anakin was, or the same way Jesus came down, was also the same way Anakin had been created. Okay, the Force gave the Shmi a child. God gave Mary his child, and those two people, Anakin and Jesus, go and do basically, except Anakin goes to the dark side and Anakin does some evil things. Jesus, on the other hand, just sacrifices himself. And in a way, if you want to think about it, though, Anakin did the same thing. He sacrificed his self. Like, he became something that he was not, because it was the will of the Force that everything would happen that way. So him as a person became something that he wasn't, what he wasn't. The version Anakin is gone, as they say, and all that remained was the dark. But everything that was going on was meant to happen. And
when you put it like that, the Force sounds like a terrible father.
Okay, yes, but the thing is, though, it was trying to bring back balance. There was a terrible unbalance in the Force. Now, the reason I'm bringing up God is, with God, he had a purpose for his child to come down. But but this is the thing: only God has done that. And then here we got the Force, and then we have these witches who want to play God, and if you want to put it that way, and start creating life on their own. And so that's why I mentioned God, because they're playing the act of God, which in this case they'd be playing the act of the thread or the Force, and so they're basically as powerful as the Force itself as a cosmic being. I mean, we don't necessarily know that much about the Force, if you want to put it that way. Like, what really is the Force? Is it a cosmic being? Like, what is it? I mean, I guess it's a cosmic force, as it's put.
Yeah.
But you don't hear it. You never hear it. You always hear it through other people, or you see these other people have visions that were produced by the Force, or you see the acts of the Force, like the act of creating Anakin. You see these things, but you don't hear anything directly from the Force. But with these
Actually,
witches,
technically, you would probably say that is from the cosmic Force, hearing from the cosmic Force.
well, yeah, I know.
I mean,
And
the thing
no,
is,
you're
the
right.
thing is that it doesn't have its own voice, so of course it's gonna go vision. Here's a
But
vision.
but does it really though? Does it really not have its own voice, or does it? See that those are the questions. No, I'm messing around. But these witches are playing the act of the force.
You need to lay off the spice, man.
The spice, yeah. Sorry, I take too much of that stuff.
Oh, actually, talking about spices and spice.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
spice creams.
Spice
For
cream.
Christ's sakes.
But the
Yeah, kids,
Continue.
have some spice creams.
Lord,
Um,
probably not for kids, sir.
no, it's just they've done a really good job with this. They've got black fatherless children having spice creams.
Yeah, that
Uh,
that is so funny. They even in Star Wars, a lot of they're showing black kids without their black dads. I'm going to
Yeah.
get canceled for that one. But I mean, really though, I mean as I'll continue what I was saying. They're playing the act of the Force, and it makes the Force seem less of a cosmic force, and it makes them seem more like they are like as powerful as the Force. Like God, he was the only one able to create a virgin birth. The Force, similarly in Star Wars, did the same thing with Shmi. Only the Force had been able to do that. They are playing that role of creator when they shouldn't be able to. And that's what makes that so wrong. But then again, who am I? I'm just a normal Star Wars fan that really loves Star Wars but hates what's been done to it. That's just my opinion. I don't believe the Force or the thread should be used that way. I don't believe that anybody other than the cosmic force itself or the cosmic thread should be able to create life. That's why Plagueis wasn't able to do it. And that's why the Force answered back in actually doing it. So how could Plagueis fail?
But that was
these
because he
witches
was a
succeed?
man. That's why.
Yeah, but he wasn't
It was
white.
because he was a man.
He wasn't white though. He was an alien.
How do you know that?
I mean, I guess he was white. I think his race is sort of like pale, so never mind. I could be thinking of the wrong creature. For some reason, I got a certain creature in my head for Plagueis, and I'm hoping I'm right. It's been a little bit
You
since I
probably
looked at
are, but I'm just.
Yeah, no. Anyways, I think I want to end it right there though, because there's so much more to talk about, and I mean there is so much more to talk about. We spent a lot of time on this and got a lot of our points across. I think we did pretty good for this episode. It's a good episode to come back to. We did really good, and I'm glad that I'm back to streaming again. I want to say that I sort of doubt that I'll be doing a stream next week, but I am shooting for the week after, and I'm already, coming up with ideas for it. But yeah, we'll shoot for the not next week, but the week after for another stream, and that stream will be mainly talking about the animated shows like The Bad Batch, like its finale, and also the Tales of the Empire. So, if you haven't watched it, Soraya Way, you need to go
Yeah,
watch
get
it.
on it.
This time, I will have watched it.
Unless 4 and 5 are worse than episode 3.
Okay, yeah, hopefully, in a way, I sort of hope so. I want to see how bad it can actually get, because at this point, like the title for the stream implies, I'm done, and I am. I'm done. I'm done caring about what they're doing with Star Wars at this point. Disney Star Wars, it ended with The Mandalorian season 2. I don't even count the sequel trilogy. I'm just saying The Mandalorian's seasons 1 and 2 are the only good Star Wars that I can accept from them, and that I'm going to leave
Rogue
it at
One?
that. Oh well, yeah, Rogue One. Sorry, I almost forgot about Rogue One. We'll keep it in there too. Those are the only 3 things: the first season, The Mandalorian, second season, and then Rogue One. That's the only things I'll keep
Hey,
from Disney Star Wars.
what about Andor?
I don't like Andor myself, but
Okay.
some other people might. I mean, I'll admit, it was probably way better written at times compared to especially The Acolyte. And honestly, I'd probably watch it with the uninteresting lesbians in that one and actually root for those characters as opposed to the very weird chanting cult-like uninteresting lesbians in this show.
I'm sensing a theme here. You kind of hate
Watching
everything.
lesbians?
Yeah.
Look, it might sound like I hate on them. I don't, but
Do you
They
even
need to
hate
be
them?
interesting. They need to be interesting lesbians. We don't have. We
that's
haven't
it.
had.
They have to be interesting. At least make them interesting, you know.
Do you even hate them in porn?
No, we're talking about Star Wars here. We're not talking.
We're talking about Star Wars, not that. We're not talking about that. Listen, at least make your characters good characters. That's all I got to say. It don't matter what they are. Just don't shove it down people's throats. Actually make them relatable or good characters. And I'd say you'll get a lot less complaints about those types of characters. Because you're actually showing that you want to actually do something good with those characters and not just make their personality what their sexuality is.
Yeah,
because that's all.
and I mean
that's all it is.
that's one good thing about I can't remember the characters' names in the Alkali, not the Alkali, the Andor. Is that the 2 lesbian characters were interesting characters. It was just that their relationship wasn't.
I didn't find them interesting at all.
Oh no, I mean, they weren't uninteresting. They weren't bad.
Well,
you know,
actually,
there was. Sorry, and what I should say is that there was enough meat on their characters that, you know, yeah, cool, they're there, cool, absolutely. You know, I'm not having any complaints.
I'll halfway disagree with you. I think the blonde one was probably more interesting because we actually got some characterization with her. I didn't like her that much. She always seemed like she was too uptight and hateful with everybody. And I just don't like that kind of character myself. But at least we got character development with her. The other one stayed silent for almost the entire show. And she basically had the same exact look on her face the entire time, too. She just looked uninterested and bored with everything.
But what I'm trying to get at is that there was enough meat there to consume and sort of go, yeah, okay, you know, no complaints or anything like that.
Yeah.
But when it came to their relationship, oh god, that could have just been absolutely deleted. We did not need any of that.
I still feel bad for Andy Serkis's character in that show, and I really hope that he actually survived somehow.
Yeah, it just.
And you know, I'll give Andor that. I may not like Andor that much, but that arc that they went through, the prison arc basically that they went through in that show, was the best thing in that show for me. I enjoyed that part.
And it was completely pointless.
It was, but it was the best arc.
And Andor is not the best Star Wars show, but you can totally tell whoever made that show had their heart in it. They wanted to do something good.
Yeah. And hey,
and
you know,
that's why
as much as as much as I could sit here and criticize Andor, I would, I've got no problem in sort of going, I am going to watch season 2.
You know, I probably actually would
Would
watch
I-
season 2.
Would
If it weren't
would
for-
I? Yes. Would I, jump up and down and tell everyone that they need to watch season 1 and 2? No. Like I said in our review, if you've got some hours to kill, it's something to kill hours with.
Yeah.
Would I
I still
book
have-
time or clear my schedule to sit down and watch Andor? Or sorry, would I advocate you clearing your schedule to sit down and watch Andor?
No.
No, just no. There was just a lot of problems. And there was a lot of problems that just could not make me sort of go, yeah, no, schedule some time and watch it. And actually, some of the problems are seen in the Alkalite, but are 30 times worse. And that's the whole.
Yeah.
We need you to think about this character in this way, but we're not going to show you why you need to think of this character in this way.
Yeah.
Where the Alkalite does that. It's sort of, we want you to think about this character this way. Are we going to show you why you should? God no. Andor at least sort of got you there to sort of go, yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
But not the entire way. And the perfect example is the guy that owned the antique shop. What was his name?
Luthen.
Yeah.
Sorry, who?
Luthen.
Luthen. Yeah. They went around and made him act like he was a morally grey character.
Mm-hmm.
But did he shoot any of his allies? No. He sent other people to do it. That's not a morally grey character. He heard about, his allies going to get into a trap. Not a morally grey character. Andor was a morally grey character. Because when he heard that one of his allies was going to betray everyone, he shot them. Didn't even. There was no pondering. There was, oh, you're going to betray us and steal everything. Okay, bang. I'm not going to ponder about this. I'm just going to shoot you. Morally grey.
Yep.
But that was the whole thing with Andor. A lot of the other characters had the airs of being this type of character without 100% earning it, but at least Andor gave you enough that you could just sort of go, I'll give it to you, but you really should show more.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
the Alkalite's not even giving you anything.
No.
Just absolutely nothing. Just zero.
I have.
You
no
should feel
hope
like.
for that show.
Pardon?
I said I have no hope for that show at all.
If they somehow, there's only 3 more episodes, right?
I don't know. I've not been following it that much.
But if
Or that deep.
they somehow pull out a good show in these next couple of episodes, it will be the most amazing turnaround in the history of everything.
You know,
it absolutely deserves its 15%.
mm-hmm.
Unequivocally earns its 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
And if they are somehow able to bring that to a respectable score, then maybe they should keep Headland on. But that would just be...
That would have to be a little miracle.
Yeah. Just, yeah. That's all I can say.
Well, with that said, I think we're going to try to end the stream right here. I think we did good.
Good idea.
Yep, we did good.
You know what that means, right?
What?
That it's Torbin time.
It's Torbin time! Woo! That's going to be our new thing, you know.
Yeah.
How,
I was just
you know how it used to be this right here? Now it's Torbin time. So
you're gonna have to get this scene clipped. Just.
It's Torbin time. Yes, we're gonna.
It's Torbin time.
It's Torbin time.
Yeah, you need to record your voice over the clip when he drinks the poison.
I can just see it now. I can just see it now. We're ending the stream and it's sort of, you know what time it is? Chink. The vial gets put down on the ground. It's Torbin time. Drink.
Oh Lord. I love it. I love it. You know, I'm going. I have a really good idea for a thumbnail for next stream. Anyways, we're gonna leave it at that. All right.
Well, you've got your homework for the next 2 weeks. You need to clip this scene and edit it correctly so the vial goes down. You know what time it is? It's Torbin time.
It's Torbin time. I love it. All right. So I'm always
see you next week.
I'm very terrible with outros. Okay.
And now we've got one.
Yeah,
it's Torbin time.
So this has been the Force Collective, and may the Force be with you. Thank you guys for showing up today.
No.
We really need it.
Wait. You messed it up. It's may the thread be with you.
May the thread be with us all.
Oh,
remember,
God.
guys, if you watch the show, make sure you Torbin yourself. Because you know what time it is? It's Torbin time! And, never mind. That's dumb. Anyways, we will see you in about 2 weeks. Yes, I will post a tweet out, or not a tweet. I guess, is it still considered a tweet? I guess it is, on X.
No,
I will put that out.
A post.
A post? It's not considered a tweet anymore. It's just called a post.
No.
I will post on X. Speaking of, all our links are in the description below if you want our socials, and I also have a Discord link because we have a Discord, so if you want to join, you can. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyways,
hint, hint.
And that's it. Like, subscribe, share, only if you feel like it, and may the thread be with you always.
Sector.